Hello everyone, my name is Emily Hunter again, just to reintroduce myself. So for my informative speech, I am doing the coming of age for the Japanese culture. I chose this because my sister loves researching, she loves the history of the Japanese culture, and so I picked her brain to see what would be some fun cultures for me to do for this project. So this is kind of similar to America in some instances of what is considered a legal age, what is considered to be something that is celebrated to welcome young children into adulthood. So, the coming of age starts the second Monday of January of every year. The second Monday of every January, they have a celebration. The main goal of celebrating the coming of age is where the country celebrates the youth who are becoming adults. The culture considers this a rite of passage for all young Japanese and can trace its roots back to 100 years. In order for the children to celebrate this milestone, they have to be turning 20. This is culturally different from America because here the legal age is 18, but you can't drink until 21, you can't smoke until 21, or it may have changed. I had to get back on that one. But, for them, this was a celebration of, okay, I can do all these things. I can drink, I can smoke, and I think it was gambling that they can do when they turn 20. And all of these things were celebrated. Now we're going to move on to the attire of the celebration. The attire that is worn for the celebration has many layers to help the next phase of their lives. For the unmarried woman, they wear an elaborate kimono with long sleeves. Males oftentimes choose a Western-style formal attire or a traditional men's kimono with a hakama. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but that's my my best go at it. During the choosing of the attire, many of them feel like it represents a moment of their lives where they can, let everyone else know that, hey, I'm an adult now. These are the things I can do. These are things I want to do. And these are things that I can help, grow me up for the future years. The coming of age is a ceremony that is held across the country in city halls, officials, and other official centers. The celebration is watched mainly or the big city of Tokyo. The celebration is watched media-wise. It's streamed. It's televised as a very important celebration. It is nationally celebrated, so it's a coming together for every 19-year-old turning 20 to be celebrated as an adult. So now we're going to work towards, how does the day start? What does the day look like for the day of celebration? The day starts at 11 a.m. when attendees and their families gather around for photos and a speech. The major figures welcome the new adults and remind them of their responsibilities. I think this is interesting because, here in America, we are, ingrained throughout high school. And when we graduate, you have to get a job, you have to start this, you need to go to college. And these things are implemented in our lives. And for them to remind them of their responsibilities, I think it's a good, like getting them all in at one time. I think it's a good way for them to, set the boundaries without making them have fear of, what is to come. They know what's expected. They know what to happen. Because sometimes here in America, we get preached to this. We get told this all the time. But sometimes you feel like you've been thrown out into the wolves. You haven't had guidance. You haven't had, someone to walk with you. Unless your parents have done that, then that's phenomenal. But some 18-year-olds do not have the availability to have that information given to them. If the gatherings become larger, there are sometimes live music and performers. So like if the celebration is really big and where they're at, they'll have more festivities afterwards. After the ceremony, the families go with their new adults, to their local shrine to pray for health and success. After the ceremonies are finished, the new adults will go to their friends to do more casual gatherings in a restaurant. So now we have all of the bases of what is considered for a coming of age day. Let's travel back to see what it looks like in the beginning of the tradition. This was a lot of information that I found interesting. As far back as 714 AD, Japan has held a celebration for coming of age. Historically, the coming of age was dependent on gender. So each gender, it was a different rule for them. During the Edo period, boys were seen as adults at the age of 15. They marked this by a haircut and a new suit. So they would trim their hair to what they considered an adult haircut. And girls were considered adults at the age of 13. To acknowledge their passage of maturity, the women dyed their teeth black. This is to show that they were ready for marriage. So this was, I think back in the 1600s it said that they would dye their teeth black to let the men know that, hey, I'm ready for marriage. I'm ready for this next part of my life. And then we are going to reel it back a little bit to bring it forward to 1876. The age has been changed to the age of 20 and is recognized as a national holiday in 1948. So it took a little bit of time, but now the age went from 13 for males, 15 for females, down to 20 for all of them. Like every gender, both genders are age of 20 now is considered an adult. So now let's reel it back bring it forward more to 2022. There have been some changes in the realm of what is considered legal. A new bill was passed in April 2022 that lowers the age of adulthood from 20 to 18. This only applies that 18-year-olds can be married without parents' consent. They can apply for loans and credit cards at the age of 18 instead of waiting till 20 to do all of this. However, the law states that the age for drinking and smoking and gambling will remain at 20 years old. So I think it's good that they have that boundary set of these are the things that you can do now, but you still have a limit of things you can't do. But I think this holiday or this celebration or this cultural thing is interesting, that it's nationwide, it's their whole country's wide. It's not just limited to states or certain cities in their country, but I found it interesting, and thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.